We start, though, with these new COVID numbers. A new NBC News tally confirms the U.S. has had more than 36 million COVID cases since the start of the pandemic. And as daily cases hit alarming new highs across the country, pediatric units are filling up with young COVID patients. Now, some doctors in Tennessee are warning of, quote, scary times ahead.
That warning comes as the Pentagon announces it's seeking a vaccine mandate for all U.S. troops by mid-September. But the defense secretary warns that he could push up the deadline, saying, quote, to defend this nation, we need a healthy and ready force. We have a team lined up to cover it all. NBC News Now correspondent Maura Barrett, Pentagon and National Security correspondent Courtney Cubie, and Dr. Amish Adalja. Let's start with Maura, who is in Memphis, Tennessee. Maura, as cases rise in that state, more kids are getting sick. Give us a sense of what the pediatric hospitals there are dealing with right now.
Good morning, Joe. It's a very concerning situation here as the state health department is warning that all children's hospitals across the state could be filled up by the end of this week. Here in Memphis, they've seen about 12 cases in the hospital now, with 6 of them in the ICU. That's of a total of more than 14 ICU cases and 38 active hospitalizations across the entire state. And just here last week, they saw 2 children pass away. Week over week, they've seen a 65% increase in pediatric cases. So obviously this all comes as kids are going back to school. The Delta variant is raging through the country, and vaccination rates here in Tennessee are very low. When you look at the numbers, kids aged 12 to 17 only make up about 17% of that age group is fully vaccinated right now. So that's a very concerning situation that doctors are looking at as we work ahead coming into the fall.
Some context here, the state health department there had paused vaccine outreach to minors for most of the month of July after an intense pushback from Republican lawmakers. Tell us more about that, and where do vaccinations stand right now in Tennessee?
Right, Joe, this has been a political battle across many states, but here in Tennessee in particular, most recently when it comes to mask mandates in schools. But that outreach was because the pause in the outreach was because of Republican pushback from the state house. They paused any social media outreach, any vaccine events that were happening on school grounds. And obviously in the summer, if you're not reaching out to kids via social media, how are you reaching them at all, right? And so they've reinstated that now that school is starting back up. But doctors at the health department tell me that this was definitely a damper in the efforts that they could have made in getting kids vaccinated before they get back to school this month.
And Maura, with school back in session, I know you spoke to some parents about heading back to the classroom. What did they tell you?
I spent the day at Memphis's first day of school yesterday speaking to parents and students here in Memphis and Shelby County. They're seeing a major spike in cases, a 200% increase over the last few weeks. And so school officials here made the decision to instate that mask mandate against the wishes of the Republican Governor Bill Lee here. I wanted to hear from some of the parents I spoke to about their support of the local school district's decision.
Mask mandate is something that I feel that is very required. Like I said, due to the fact of this COVID thing that's going on, I really feel that everybody should wear their mask. Like I said, safety is the key. And with the mask, I feel like it does help.
I feel like that's going to be a great thing because that is kind of like the first defense against the virus that's going on. So the mask mandate, I think everyone should be able to wear them to keep everybody safe.
Now, the parents I spoke to did express concern considering kids 12 and under can't get the vaccine, the Delta variant affecting them a lot more now. But they said that the fact that this mask mandate is in place is really reassuring because they want their kids back in school full-time in person. I also spoke to some students that basically said they would do anything necessary, even if the mask is inconvenient. They want to be in school full-time throughout the year, and so they're ready to take those precautions as needed, Joe.
Conversation happening in schools and homes across the country right now. Maura, thanks so much.